My ex-wife, Lauren, actually thought she could bankrupt me on her way out the door. We had been married for 5 years. I owned a small but profitable software consulting firm, while Lauren worked as a senior project manager at a major corporate tech firm. Over the last year of our marriage, she started working crazy overtime. Late nights, weekend strategy sessions, emergency business trips, you name the cliché, she used it. I trusted her completely. So when she came home one random Tuesday evening, sat across from me at the kitchen table, and coldly announced she was filing for divorce, I was completely blindsided. "I've outgrown this marriage, Mark," she said, without a single tear in her eye. "My lawyer will be in touch tomorrow. I'm asking for half the business valuation, the house, and temporary spousal support." I couldn't believe what I was hearing. "Half my business? I started this company 3 years before I even met you." She just smiled, took a sip of water, and said, "We're in a joint property state. My lawyer says I'm entitled to it. Let's not make this ugly." The next day, her attorney served me with aggressive divorce papers. They were asking for an insane settlement, roughly $400,000 in assets plus ongoing monthly payments. Lauren was playing total hardball, assuming I would panic and settle just to save my business. What she didn't realize was that I didn't get angry. I got thorough. I hired a forensic accountant and a private investigator to go through every single financial record we had. Within 48 hours, my PI found a massive anomaly. Lauren had a secondary corporate credit card issued by her employer for client travel. She had been using that card to book luxury cabin rentals, high-end dinners, and spa weekend packages in the mountains every single month for the last 9 months. And she wasn't going alone. The receipts, air travel logs, and cabin booking confirmations all listed a second guest, her direct boss, the regional vice president of her department. They weren't just having an affair. They were abusing company expense accounts to fund their romantic getaways. Thousands upon thousands of dollars in corporate fraud, all tied directly to her name and employee ID. When my lawyer called Lauren's attorney for our first settlement meeting, Lauren walked into the room looking smug. She sat down, crossed her arms, and said, "My position hasn't changed, Mark. You pay the settlement, or we go to trial, and I take half of everything." My lawyer quietly slid a thick manila folder across the table toward her attorney. "What is this?" her lawyer asked, opening it. Inside were color printouts of every single cabin receipt, itemized expense report, and corporate card statement, complete with dates, room charges, and passenger manifests showing Lauren and her VP traveling together. Lauren's smug expression instantly vanished. The color drained from her face. Where did you get these?" she whispered, her hand starting to shake. My lawyer leaned forward. "Lauren, as you know, using corporate funds for personal romantic trips constitutes severe financial misconduct and fraud. Currently, your husband is named in your divorce filings as being responsible for marital debts accrued during this period. So here is our counteroffer," I said, looking her dead in the eye. "Option A. You drop all demands for spousal support, you sign off on a $0 business claim, you waive rights to the house, and you take your personal belongings and walk away." Lauren swallowed hard. "And option B? Option B. I walk these exact receipts directly to your company's HR director, the legal compliance department, and the board of directors this afternoon. You and your VP will be fired for corporate embezzlement by the end of the day, and you'll likely face a civil lawsuit from your employer." Her attorney looked at the evidence, looked at Lauren, and immediately pulled her out into the hallway. 10 minutes later, they walked back into the room. Lauren was crying, avoiding all eye contact. Her attorney spoke up. My client agrees to sign a full waiver of all claims against your business, your property, and all spousal support. She signed the settlement agreement right then and there. 2 weeks later, the divorce was finalized. I kept my company, my house, and my savings completely intact. And as for HR, I never even had to send the receipts. Turns out, when her VP realized the affair was exposed, he panicked and tried to cover his tracks by altering the expense logs. Corporate audit flagged it automatically. Within a month, both of them were quietly escorted out of the building by security. She tried to take half of my life and ended up leaving with nothing.